Hello everybody and welcome back to Donkey Kong Country. My name's Cody.
And I'm Fu.
And we are back in the treetops. After a little break away from the treetops, they seem to have a few templates for levels that they use. That you see reappearing every once in a while. Oh, I'm
Yeah.
at the edge of a barrel. Except I missed it slightly.
I mean, obviously, I think the art for this was good enough that they wanted to bring it back one more time, even though it doesn't make much sense at all in context.
Yeah.
But whatever, we can have fun with it. There you go, nicely done.
Alright, so, what have we got here? Ah, some banana collecting that we fall off. That's alright, I got an extra life, technically.
There you go. So, what we're starting to get at this point is levels that kind of test your understanding of some of the more obscure mechanics in the game.
Like
So,
tires.
well, the tires for one thing, but a lot of roll jumps and stuff will show up here where they're seeing how well you can handle some of the skills you'll need to get through the final portion of the game. Because we're basically 2/3 of the way through here, so...
Oh, nice. You see that? I skipped a step.
You did, yes, that was nice.
That's the sign of someone who's too skilled.
Exactly like this. To get that O, you're going to have to do a roll jump if you want to risk it.
I think I'm going to ignore that O.
Just done with it? Okay, fair enough. Yeah. Yeah, so that's, one of the great things about platformers and about this kind of area of games is that they weren't scared to go after a wide swath of audience. The industry these days seems to feel, in a lot of cases, like you have to pick your target demographic and just stick with it.
Uh-huh.
Here, the game was mostly meant to be bought by young kids.
Yeah.
Who just would not at all have been interested in something like the challenge offered by that O.
Yeah.
But a little thing like that put in there can appeal to a broader audience. My uncle, my dad's brother, was big into gaming in the 16-bit era, even though he was, already late into his 40s.
Right.
And he's still a Donkey Kong fan, I think, largely on the basis of things like that, where there were those, small challenges thrown in.
Yeah, I think it's something that's great for replay value. Like, I think at the moment, it's not a sensible priority to be risking my lives for stuff when I know that I'm going to die 8 times on any particular stage.
Right.
But once I'm a bit more familiar with it, I can go for the extra challenge stuff, and it gives replayability, I guess.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, and then here, obviously, you're working on your timing, which
Close enough.
not bad. And see, now they're really pushing it. You're used to the challenge. Now you can see, I think it's the G down there.
Yeah.
You would have to
Pull off a perfect one.
have to be really interested in completing and finding every single Kong to go after that. But some people are going to want to take that kind of risk, and that's cool.
Oh, that was an accident, but I did that on purpose, probably.
Works out. So obviously you're trying to match 3 rhinos here. Oh.
Gotcha.
Nicely done. Is this
The power of
that's it.
when I don't commentate.
Unfortunately, you probably just sent yourself back a little bit. I'm not sure if this will force you to replay the second half of the level again.
So
But
where's the big rhino in this one?
you got to climb in this one to get the big rhino. It's actually probably the toughest one to get. Some of the jumps are a little difficult. So if you just focused on picking up rhinos, it wouldn't be terrible.
Yeah. Well, I might as well climb while I'm collecting rhinos.
Yeah.
Oh, we got 3 lives out of that, I think. So.
Yeah, that's not bad. Yeah, but you have to get onto that top layer you see above you there and then take it all the way over. It's a bit of a pain.
Alright, and yeah, it sent me
Oh, it actually
back.
put you forward.
Oh,
No,
forward.
it put you... There you go.
I won.
Perfect.
And here comes a big pile of bananas held by really naughty.
Yeah, we're running back the giant beaver boss. Might as well.
Alright, well, we got a giant beaver again, I guess. Oh, but now it's pulling off some Mario 3 shenanigans. It's that mid boss from Mario 3 you find in every world.
Yes.
Where he just
the
jumps
orb.
around. Sometimes he grows wings.
Yeah, this boss is tougher than it looks. There's no signal as to when you can and can't hit it, but he does have invincibility frames that you really have to be aware of. You bounce off; it doesn't affect you, but it does make it difficult to hit him if you're not timing it quite well. Like there, you just ran into an invincibility frame.
It's surprisingly difficult because he changes up the tempo, I guess, of his jumps.
Yeah, and he does high jumps, long jumps, combinations thereof. It's not a poorly designed boss fight. Like it definitely does take you a couple tries to get through it.
Oh, they did a bit of leapfrog there. Jumped over each other. Oh. That was a few times invincibility frames, I think.
It is good practice though because you do see more fights like this as you move forward, and this is kind of getting you used to the idea that bosses in mid jump are going to have these sorts of invincibilities, so they don't really piss you off in the later fight.
Yeah. So, does it matter whether I use Diddy or not?
No, it should be all the same here for the most part. Obviously the movement is a little different with both characters, but there you go.
There we go. Canada is saved once again, thanks to the Powerpuff Girls. Alright.
Cool.
And we reach Creme Croc Industries, Inc. But first we're going to go back and save. Because that's what matters.
Yeah, so we're on to the last two worlds now. Really, they kind of almost function as a single world thematically with a boss in the middle. Like, up until now, each world has had some really distinct character, and honestly, if you were to take a given level that's going to show up over the course of the next two, you might not be able to say whether it was in World 5 or World 6. They're both a lot of dark, cave-like levels with a certain quality of enemy. But the gloves really come off at this point. Like, we stop having as many... There still are a few gimmicky levels to come, but for the most part, we're going to see platforming-style challenges based on the things that you've learned in the game up until this point.
Nearly ran right off that edge. And I got the K this time. Wasn't hanging precariously below the ground. And some not particularly naughty beavers, I guess. Who only walk and don't jump erratically, which is...
This is nice. Yeah, so there's little... This factory-style level is all about those little black panels on the ground. Each one contains something, and you're trying to find the way that you need to hit it in order to open it. So
and this becomes a bit of a tradition for the Donkey Kong series, I think. These factory levels.
They do, for sure, yeah. Up until the point where DKC 3, actually, the whole theme of the game is, K. Rool takes to experimenting more with, I guess, like androids and Dr. Robotnik style.
The dangers of industrialization.
Yeah, exactly. It worked for Tolkien. We might as well use it in every single story for the rest of time. Right.
Look, if the orcs are doing it, it must be bad.
Yeah.
They're killing the trees. And then the trees don't particularly like that. So... Alright. Even though Tolkien kept saying, there's no hidden meaning in any of my stories or whatever, but people have, I guess, contrasting opinions on this stuff.
Death of the author, right?
Yeah, on whether it matters or not, whether Tolkien was intentionally referencing World War II.
Yeah.
Or if he was just doing it by accident. What do you think about that, Fu?
What do I think about that? I mean, I don't know. I'll leave that to the English majors in the audience. But yeah, so this this level pretty much a setup, getting used to the idea that you're in this factory and showing you the mechanics of it. You're going to see a lot of these oil barrels, a lot of... That was nicely done. a lot of these challenges that involve you kind of manipulating the environment a little bit more.
Yeah.
And a lot more that's going to kind of force you to proceed without necessarily knowing what's coming next.
Yeah.
And that can catch you off guard. But hopefully not a lot that really surprises you. Everything should be predictable.
Stop throwing barrels.
And yeah, it looks like you're handling this quite well.
These oil barrels seem to go a lot on and off a lot faster than usual.
Yeah, so those have a different pattern to them. If you watched a little bit more closely next time, you can figure out.
Well, it's not my fault. You're the one who said that I was doing well, and then I instantly died. You know, you should have known.
I'm sorry.
The dangers. Alright, yeah, but if you're wondering why I seem to be doing better on these levels than I have been on the levels in World 2, that would be because I've been practicing, because I knew this is going to get a lot harder over time, and I'm not going to be able to spare, you know, 300 lives on screen to be able to do this stuff. It would just sort of be a waste of everyone's time. So I'm trying to get better at the game, and I think it's showing pretty well at the moment. Yeah.
Oh, for sure. You can tell a huge difference, and the game really does reward, you know, practice, which is nice.
Yeah.
Like I can see how you've gotten so much better at reacting to the presence of enemies with a roll, rather than, you know, running backwards, which makes a big difference.
Oh.
These guys continue to be a pain, though.
Yeah.
And they're going to show up more and more and more. It's just, you know, it's a mechanic that worked well in the original Donkey Kong. Might as well bring it back, right? Jumping over.
2, 3, and then it drops for a while. Alright.
Right, yeah.
Whoa. No, I panicked.
You're there, though.
It was that floating tire. You can't trust tires. They're like Team Instinct, you just can't trust them.
Gets some criticism in that it doesn't really make sense within the narrative of the game, which is that K. Rool kind of just showed up and, you know, tried to take over the island. How did he build a factory in 2 days? And what exactly are they trying to produce at this factory, given that they're invading for it? Yeah, okay. I guess so.
Obviously. Alright, I feel like I'm missing some sort of DK barrel around here somewhere.
Yeah, I think you've gone past it a couple times. But, as you pointed out in the last video, you know, factories are kind of one of those necessary... So, here, go back.
Alright.
We'll figure this out, because it's
I'll go back as soon as this guy stops throwing barrels. Alright. Oh, I saw bananas down there.
There you go.
Alright, cool. And welcome back, Rambo the Rhino. Or his name is something like that, isn't it?
Rambi, yes.
Close enough.
Yeah.
See you, Rambo the Rhino.
Yeah, he's probably the most popular animal companion. You know, he keeps coming back. He does take a break in DKC 3, but then they bring him back for 64. So
yeah,
I think he makes the most appearances overall. But the trick here is you want to try to access that black panel on the floor there for your DK barrel.
All right.
So you can dismount Rambi here.
Okay.
And then you have to jump from the oil barrel to the
Alright.
to the block.
I accidentally jumped right back on Rambi, but let's...
That might work. Oh, maybe not.
Hold on. I'm gonna try it anyway. I mean, because I'm under the impression that a rhino would be heavier. There we go.
There you go, yeah.
Alright, welcome back, Diddy Kong. Yeah, that's right. That's what I thought. Alright, so this guy, he's invincible everywhere except above, I guess. So I should be jumping
Yeah.
like this more.
Yeah, we actually haven't talked a ton about the animal companions
Is
yet.
he invincible against fire?
No, you're gonna have to watch out for the fire.
Alright.
It was kind of, I guess, a necessary expectation
Yeah.
at this point that in your platformer that you'd have some sort of visible power-up, right?
Yeah.
Whatever that might be. You know, Mario started it with the Super Mario as well as the Fire Flower, the cape, the, Tanuki suit, whatever. But it became pretty standard. Every platformer does have a way that your character powers up.
Yeah.
Some of them are really hilarious and ingenious at the time. One of my favorite forgotten platformers is a game called Rocky Rodent.
Oh yeah.
Where all of the platformers are hairstyles that
nice.
you find along the way.
Alright.
Here
So this
we
sign seems to symbolize I'm near the end of the level, but this is where I always trip up.
Yes. So here we have the animal companions, which are basically the same sorts of design as the Mario. The Mario power-ups, and that they provide you with a second or an extra layer of protection and give you an extra ability.
Yeah.
It's different from, say, the Sega-style Sonic power-ups.
Yeah.
Where you were usually invincible for a given amount of time or something like that instead, and then they would wear off naturally. Here you tend to be able to keep them for as long as you want, and that kind of makes things interesting because the levels need to be designed for you to be able to beat them with and without the power-up.
Yeah.
So there's obviously a risk that you make the game too easy if you don't think about the effect the power-up will have, or you make it too hard if you assume that somebody's always going to have the power-up. This is actually probably the biggest complaint of Super Mario World, and is that the cape just makes the game too easy in a lot of cases, and you can just fly over something like 40 of the levels.
Right.
And that's why the speedrunning categories from SMW have gotten so creative. Instead of just things like the 100% category, 96 exits, they have things like the Lunar Dragon category, where you have to collect certain items, or the no cape, whatever category that just make things a little bit more interesting. They have to hack the game to get those kind of results.
Alright, what's gonna jump out at me? Nothing, and complete it.
Excellent.
Alright, well, I think we're going to end the episode here for the moment, and next time we'll continue on to Trick Track Trek.
Sounds good to me.
See you then.